Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the UES Thunderstrike, watching the stars through the viewport. His crew had been on a routine patrol mission when they received an emergency signal that would change everything. The transmission was weak, broken, but unmistakably alien. "Captain," called Lieutenant Emma Rodriguez from the communications station. "I'm picking up a distress signal from the Kepler 442 system. It's not in any language our computers recognize, but the pattern suggests extreme distress." Morrison nodded grimly. The Kepler system was deep in unexplored space, far beyond human territory. Whatever was out there had traveled an incredible distance to reach them. Chief Engineer Tom Bradley ran diagnostics on their faster-than-light engines, while Navigator Lisa Park plotted the course. "Sir, if we respond to this call, we'll be venturing into completely unknown territory," warned First Officer Marcus Webb. "We have no idea what we might encounter out there." Morrison studied the star charts. The signal was coming from a region where 3 different alien empires claimed territory. The Vorthak Dominion, known for their brutal efficiency. The Crystal, Hegemony, masters of energy manipulation, and the Shadow Collective, mysterious beings who rarely showed themselves to other species. "Captain," Rodriguez called again, her voice tense. "The signal is getting weaker. Whoever is sending this won't last much longer." Morrison made his decision. Throughout human history, they had always been the ones to rush toward danger when others needed help. It was what made them different from most species in the galaxy. While others calculated risks and benefits, humans acted on instinct and compassion. "Set a course for the Kepler system. Maximum warp," Morrison ordered. "All departments, prepare for unknown contact protocols." The Thunderstrike's engines roared to life, propelling the ship faster than light toward the distant signal. As they traveled through hyperspace, Morrison gathered his senior staff in the briefing room. The holographic display showed what little they knew about their destination. "Intelligence suggests this region is highly contested," Webb reported. 3 major powers have been fighting over mining rights and territorial claims for decades. Bradley pulled up technical specifications. "Our ship is equipped with the latest human technology, adaptive shields, quantum torpedoes, and our new neural interface targeting system. But we're still just one ship against potentially entire fleets." Navigator Park added her concerns. "The gravitational anomalies in that system could make maneuvering difficult. We'll need to be extremely careful with our approach." Morrison listened to each concern carefully. He knew the risks were enormous, but something deep in his gut told him this mission was important. The distress signal had reached across impossible distances, suggesting whoever sent it was desperate beyond measure. "We're humanity's representatives out here," Morrison said finally. "Whatever we find, we face it together. Prepare for anything." The Thunderstrike dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Kepler 442 system, and what they found shocked everyone. On the bridge, the space around them was filled with debris from countless battles. Twisted metal, crystalline fragments, and strange organic matter floated in the void like a graveyard of civilizations. "My God," whispered Rodriguez, staring at the sensor readings. "There must be remains from hundreds of ships out here." Morrison ordered yellow alert as they navigated through the debris field. The distress signal was stronger now, coming from a small moon orbiting the system's gas giant. As they got closer, they could see the source of the transmission. A single ship, unlike anything in human databases, was crashed on the moon's surface. It was elegant, almost artistic in design, with flowing lines that seemed to pulse with faint bioluminescent light. But it was clearly dying, its glow fading with each passing moment. "Life signs?" Morrison asked. Medical Officer Dr. Rachel Stone ran her scans. "I'm reading one life form, very weak. The biosignature is unlike anything we've encountered, but definitely sentient and in critical condition." Chief Bradley studied the wreckage. "Captain, that ship's technology is incredible. The hull appears to be some kind of living metal, and I'm detecting energy patterns that shouldn't be possible according to our physics. As they approached the moon, 3 massive ships suddenly appeared from behind the gas giant. They were dark, angular vessels bristling with weapons. The universal translator crackled to life with a harsh, mechanical voice. "Unknown vessel, you have entered Vorthak space without authorization. Withdraw immediately or be destroyed." Morrison stepped forward. "This is Captain Jake Morrison of the United Earth ship Thunderstrike. We're responding to a distress call. We mean no harm." The Vorthak commander's response was cold and final. "There are no authorized distress calls in this system. The wreckage below contains a dangerous criminal. Leave now or share its fate." On the main screen, Morrison could see the crashed ship's lights growing dimmer. Whatever was down there didn't have much time left. He looked around his bridge at the faces of his crew. Each one showed the same determination that had carried humanity to the stars. "Negative, Vorthak vessel," Morrison replied. "We don't abandon those in need. That's not who we are." The Vorthak ships moved into attack formation. "Then you have chosen death, humans. Your species' reputation for foolish heroics precedes you." Morrison smiled grimly. "Our reputation for getting the job done precedes us too. All hands, battle stations." The Thunderstrike's shields flared to life as quantum torpedoes streaked toward the Vorthak vessels. The human ship was outnumbered, 3-1. But Morrison had something the enemy didn't expect: the unbreakable human spirit and the most advanced technology Earth had ever produced. "Rodriguez, keep trying to contact whoever's on that moon," Morrison ordered as the ship shook from enemy fire. "Let them know help is coming." The space around the moon erupted in brilliant flashes of energy as the Thunderstrike engaged 3 Vorthak warships. The human vessel's adaptive shields sparked and flared under the intense bombardment, but Chief Bradley's engineering genius kept them operational. "Shields holding at 60%, Bradley reported from engineering. "But these Vorthak energy weapons are unlike anything we've faced before." Lieutenant Rodriguez maintained her post at communications, desperately trying to reach the being on the crashed ship below. "Still no response from the surface, Captain. Life signs are getting weaker." Morrison gripped his command chair as another barrage rocked the ship. Navigator Park executed a brilliant spiral maneuver that brought them behind one of the Vorthak vessels. "Target their engine section," Morrison ordered. The Thunderstrike's quantum torpedoes found their mark, and the Vorthak ship erupted in a cascade of explosions. But the victory was short-lived as the remaining 2 enemy vessels pressed their attack with renewed fury. Dr. Stone's voice came over the intercom from sickbay. "Captain, I've been analyzing the bio-readings from the surface. Whoever is down there is from a species I've never seen before. Their physiology is failing rapidly, but I think I can help if we can get to them." "Working on it, Doc," Morrison replied, ducking as sparks flew from a damaged console. First Officer Webb coordinated the tactical display. "Sir, if we can get close enough to the moon, we might be able to use the gravitational field to our advantage. The Vorthak ships are too large to maneuver effectively in close proximity to the surface." Morrison nodded. "Do it. Take us down." The Thunderstrike dove toward the moon's surface, using the rocky terrain to break up the Vorthak targeting solutions. The enemy ships followed, their massive hulls struggling with the tight maneuvering required for low-altitude combat. As they skimmed over the crash site, Morrison made a decision that would define humanity's reputation in this sector of space. "Rodriguez, prep the emergency transport pad. Webb, you're with me. Stone, grab your medical kit." "Captain, you can't go down." "There," Webb protested. The Vorthak will do what they do," Morrison interrupted. "But we'll do what we do. We don't leave anyone behind." The transport beam engaged just as another Vorthak energy blast scorched the Thunderstrike's hull. Morrison, Webb, and Dr. Stone materialized beside the crashed alien vessel. Up close, the Ship was even more beautiful and alien than it had appeared from orbit. Inside the organic-looking craft, they found her. The being was humanoid, but clearly not human, with pale blue skin that seemed to shimmer like water and silver hair that moved as if in a gentle breeze. Her large violet eyes opened weakly as Dr. Stone began her medical assessment. "Please," she whispered in perfect English, though her lips didn't move. The words seemed to form directly in their minds. "They hunt me because I carry the truth. The Vorthak, the Crystal Hegemony, the Shadow Collective, they all fear what I know." Morrison knelt beside her as Stone worked frantically with her medical equipment. "What truth? What do you know?" The being's mental voice grew fainter. "The ancients. They left something behind. Something that could change the balance of power in the galaxy forever. I am Zara of the Astral Wanderers, and I carry the location of the last ancient archive." Above them, the battle raged on as the Thunderstrike continued its desperate fight against overwhelming odds. Dr. Stone's medical scanner showed critical readings as she worked to stabilize Zara. The Astral Wanderer's unique physiology was unlike anything in human medical databases, but Stone's expertise and human adaptability allowed her to improvise life-saving treatments. "Her cellular structure is crystalline organic hybrid," Stone reported. "She's literally starving for a specific type of energy that her ship was providing. Without it, she'll die within minutes." Morrison looked at the dying vessel around them. Its bioluminescent panels were fading rapidly, and the walls seemed to be losing their structural integrity. Through the translucent sections of the hull, they could see the Thunderstrike above, still engaged in fierce combat with the Vorthak warships. Zara's mental voice grew stronger as Stone's treatment took effect. "Your doctor has a gift. She understands life in a way few species do. This is why the ancients believed in your kind." "The ancients knew about humans?" Webb asked, amazed. "But we've only been in space for a few centuries." Zara's violet eyes focused on Morrison with surprising intensity. "Time is not linear for beings like the ancients. They saw potential futures, possible paths. Humanity was always meant to find me here, Captain Morrison. Your species' greatest strength is not your technology or your weapons. It is your refusal to abandon hope." The ship shuddered as debris from the battle above rained down around them. Morrison activated his communicator. "Thunderstrike. Status. Report." Bradley's voice crackled through with static. "Shields down to 20%, Captain. We've taken out one more Vorthak ship, but the last one is bringing friends. I'm reading 4 more vessels approaching fast." Morrison felt the weight of impossible odds, but something in Zara's gaze gave him strength. "The archive you mentioned. How do we find it?" Zara struggled to sit up, her form becoming more solid as Dr. Stone's treatment continued. "It requires 2 keys. One is genetic. Only a species that has never conquered another in the name of expansion can access it. The other is technological, a ship capable of interfacing with ancient systems." She gestured weakly toward her dying vessel. "My ship was one half of the equation, but it is damaged beyond repair. However, your ship, there is something special about human technology. You build with intention, with purpose beyond mere efficiency." Webb checked his scanner. "Captain, the Vorthak are landing troops. We have maybe 5 minutes before they reach this position." Morrison made another of those split-second decisions that defined human character. "Stone, can you transport her to our ship? With her current condition and our technology, it's risky but possible." Zara's mental voice carried urgency now. "Captain, if the Vorthak capture the archive's location, they will use it to subjugate every free species in the galaxy. The ancients left behind technology that could either unite the stars in peace or burn them all in endless war." Morrison activated his communicator again. "Thunderstrike, emergency transport. 3 to beam up immediately." As the transport beam engaged, Zara grabbed Morrison's hand with surprising strength. Her touch sent images flooding into his mind. Vast cities, of light, ships that move between dimensions, and knowledge that could reshape the understanding of existence itself. "The coordinates are now in your mind, Captain," she whispered. "But know this, the path to the archive will test everything your species believes about itself. The ancients built it as a final exam for those who would inherit their legacy." The transport completed just as Vorthak's soldiers breached the wreckage below. On the Thunderstrike's bridge, alarms wailed as 5 enemy vessels closed in for the final attack. Morrison looked at his crew, then at Zara lying on the emergency medical bed that Dr. Stone had prepared. The coordinates burned in his mind like a beacon, calling them toward destiny. The Thunderstrike's bridge was chaos as 5 Vorthak warships closed in for the kill. Morrison took his captain's chair, while Dr. Stone worked frantically to stabilize Zara in the medical bay. The coordinates the astral wanderer had shared burned in his mind, showing the location of the ancient archive in a distant nebula. "Captain," Chief Bradley called from engineering, "I'm reading massive energy signatures from the Vorthak fleet. They're preparing to fire everything they have." Morrison studied the tactical display. The odds were impossible, but something had changed. The presence of Zara on their ship seemed to have awakened something in the Thunderstrike systems. Lights that had never existed before were flickering to life on previously dead panels. "Sir!" Lieutenant Rodriguez called out in amazement. "I'm detecting new systems coming online throughout the ship. It's like our technology is evolving in real time." Navigator Park's instruments showed readings that defied physics. "Captain, our warp core is resonating with frequencies I've never seen before. It's as if the ship is trying to interface with something." In the medical bay, Zara's eyes opened fully for the first time. Her mental voice reached not just Morrison, but every human on the ship. "Your vessel was built with materials from the Sol system's asteroid belt. Those asteroids contained trace elements left behind by ancient ships eons ago. Your technology is awakening to its true potential." Morrison felt understanding dawn. "The ancients, they seeded our solar system, didn't they? They wanted us to find our own path to the stars." "Yes," Zara confirmed. "Zara, every species that reaches the archive must do so with technology that carries a piece of ancient legacy. But humans are unique. You built your ships not for conquest, but for exploration. Not for dominance, but for discovery. The Vorthak fleet opened fire with devastating barrages that should have vaporized the Thunderstrike instantly. Instead, the human ship's newly awakened systems created barriers of pure energy that deflected the attacks harmlessly." "Impossible," came the Vorthak commander's transmission. "No ship can withstand our combined firepower." Morrison smiled as he felt his ship responding to his thoughts. "You're right. No ordinary ship could. But this isn't an ordinary ship anymore." The Thunderstrike moved through space like a living thing, dancing between enemy fire with grace that seemed impossible for a vessel of its size. Chief Bradley watched in wonder as his engines operated at efficiency levels that broke every known law of physics. "Captain," Webb reported, "our weapons systems are also evolving. I'm showing torpedo configurations that don't exist in any manual." Morrison could feel the coordinates calling to him. The ancient archive waited in the Horsehead Nebula, but first they had to survive this battle. He made a decision that would echo throughout galactic history. "All Vorthak vessels," Morrison transmitted on all frequencies, "we don't want to fight you. We're leaving this system, and we're taking our friend with us. Stand down and let us pass." The Vorthak commander's response was filled with rage. "The astral wanderer dies here, human, as do you. Morrison's reply was calm, but carried the weight of humanity's unbreakable spirit. No, she doesn't, and neither do we, because that's not who we are. The thunderstrike suddenly shifted into a dimension, between dimensions, using technology that existed in theory but had never been achieved. The Vorthak weapons passed harmlessly through empty space as the human ship emerged near the system's edge. As they prepared to jump to hyperspace, Zara's voice filled the bridge with warmth and hope. "The test has already begun, Captain Morrison. You chose to save a stranger, fought impossible odds, and refused to compromise your values. The ancients chose well when they prepared the path for humanity." The thunderstrike leaped into hyperspace toward the coordinates burning in Morrison's mind. Behind them, the Vorthak fleet could only watch as their prey vanished into the stars. In the depths of space, the ancient archive waited, ready to judge whether humanity was worthy of inheriting the galaxy's greatest secrets. But Morrison already knew the answer. They had proven themselves not through conquest or domination, but through the simple act of refusing to abandon someone in need. The stars themselves seemed to welcome them home.